Every single experience you have in life, every color you see, every sound you hear, every feeling you feel, passes first through the filter of your own perception. Reality, as you know it, is not an objective fact, but an internal interpretation happening inside your mind. If you're told something is real, but you don't feel it, it remains a concept, like a story you're reading in a book. The hidden mechanism of perception means your senses don't deliver the world as it is. They deliver signals that your brain decodes, labels, and turns into meaning. This is why two people can live in the same environment, yet experience completely different worlds. One may feel abundance, the other may feel scarcity. One may see opportunity, the other may see danger. What changes is not the external world, but the feeling of reality each person carries inside. In this first step, you realize reality is less about truth and more about resonance with your inner state. Most people believe thinking creates their life. They think if they analyze, plan, and visualize, they will manifest change. But the truth is deeper. Feeling trumps thinking. Your subconscious, the powerhouse that shapes your habits, choices, and outcomes, does not speak the language of words. It speaks the language of feelings. If you think you are successful but feel undeserving, your subconscious will continue creating experiences that match the feeling of being undeserving. Feeling is magnetic. It instructs your energy, your actions, and your vibrational signature. That's why a thought alone is not enough to change your world. Only when you feel a new reality does it start to materialize, because your nervous system and subconscious are convinced it's real. Once they're convinced, your behavior, your micro decisions, and your perception all shift, and the external world rearranges to match that new inner feeling. Life is not happening to you, it's happening through you. Your external reality mirrors your internal state, like a perfectly polished mirror reflecting your deepest emotions. When you're angry, you seem to attract angry people. When you're inspired, synchronicities show up everywhere. This is not coincidence, it's resonance. You don't get what you want, you get what you feel. Understanding this is a breakthrough, because you stop trying to change the mirror, the world, and instead change what you're projecting, your feelings. As soon as you shift your internal state, the mirror must reflect something new. This is why many people experience sudden transformations. Jobs appear, relationships heal, money flows. Once they start feeling the reality they desire, instead of obsessing over its absence. Modern neuroscience supports this. Studies show that when you vividly imagine an experience with emotional intensity, your brain and body respond as if it's happening now. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire, means your nervous system doesn't distinguish between real and vividly imagined events. Elite athletes use this to rehearse winning before competitions, not just in their minds but in their bodies, feeling the victory. When repeated, these inner rehearsals create new neural pathways, new hormones, and new expectations, which draw matching experiences. This is why reality remains false until you feel it. Your nervous system must embody the new reality first. Otherwise, your subconscious treats it as fiction. We're taught that reality is objective, that facts exist independently of us. But quantum physics reveals a different picture. Observers influence experiments. Particles behave differently when measured. This suggests reality is not fixed but probabilistic, shaped by attention and intention. Your consciousness, your feelings, and your expectations collapse possibilities into actualities. This is radical because it means your daily mood may be affecting how reality solidifies around you. You're not just a passive observer, you're a co-creator. Once you embrace this, you start approaching life like an artist shaping clay instead of a victim of circumstances. Manifestation is often misunderstood as just thinking positively, but thinking without feeling is like planting seeds on dry soil. Nothing grows. Feeling is the water, the sunlight, the environment in which your intentions take root. When you feel gratitude, excitement, and certainty for a reality that hasn't shown up yet, you tell the universe, it's already here. This bypasses the doubt that blocks manifestation. Your subconscious receives the signal of already done and begins aligning your behavior, intuition, and magnetism with that outcome. This is how people create so-called miracles. It's not magic, it's biology plus energy. Most people don't feel their desired reality because they're running old emotional programs. Their nervous system is addicted to familiar emotions, worry, lack, fear, even when they consciously want abundance. To feel a new reality, you must reprogram your emotional state. This involves daily practices, meditation, breathwork, affirmations with feeling, visualizations with sensory detail, choosing new emotional set points. Over time, your nervous system adopts the new baseline, and the world around you shifts accordingly. It's not overnight, but it's predictable if you're consistent. You've probably heard the advice to act as if your desired reality is already true, but most people fake it. They paste a smile over anxiety or say affirmations they don't believe. The real secret is not to fake, but to practice feeling. You might start with small, believable shifts. For example, instead of affirming, "I'm a millionaire," when you're broke, affirm, "I'm learning to feel abundance every day," and actually cultivate the feeling of financial ease in small moments. This incremental approach trains your nervous system gradually and authentically, making the new reality feel safe and normal. Many people are stuck in a loop. When I see it, I'll believe it. But the universe operates in reverse. When you believe it and feel it, you'll see it. Waiting for external proof keeps you in the vibration of lack. The way out is to stop waiting and start embodying, live as though it's already happening, emotionally and energetically. This doesn't mean being reckless. It means aligning your inner state with your desired outer state now. This shift creates momentum that draws evidence into your life. Imagination is not child's play. It's the blueprint of reality. Everything humans have created, from airplanes to smartphones, existed first in someone's imagination. The only difference between imagination and reality is intensity and persistence of feeling. When you imagine a new reality with strong emotion, you're rehearsing its existence until your subconscious accepts it as normal. Once accepted, your actions, perceptions, and synchronicities adjust to fulfill it. Every emotion you carry broadcasts a frequency, much like a radio station sending signals into the world. Fear broadcasts one station, joy broadcasts another. The people, opportunities, and experiences you attract are tuned to the station you're emitting. This is why people in low emotional states tend to experience more challenges, while those in higher states seem lucky. But luck is just resonance. If you want a different experience, you don't need to manipulate circumstances. You need to change your frequency. And how do you change your frequency? Through feeling. When you feel peace, joy, gratitude, or love, you tune into the reality where more of these experiences exist. Without this emotional broadcast, even the best goals remain false, unreal, and unreachable. They're just words on paper. Only when you embody their frequency through feeling does the blueprint activate, drawing the reality into form. Have you ever noticed how some people work tirelessly, hustling every day, yet their life doesn't really change? Meanwhile, others seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, wealth, and success. The difference lies in their feeling state. The hustler may be grinding but still feels scarcity, fear, or desperation. These feelings cancel out the external effort. On the other hand, the person who feels ease, abundance, and certainty, even before evidence shows up, magnetizes experiences that match those inner states. Struggle persists when the feeling contradicts the goal. This is why affirmations alone don't work for many people. They say the words, but the emotion behind those words is missing or contradictory. The subconscious mind picks up on the feeling, not the language. If your feeling says, "I'm still broke," while your words say, "I'm wealthy," reality listens to the feeling every time. Transformation begins not by doing more, but by aligning your feeling with what you want. One reason people struggle to feel a new reality is that their nervous system doesn't feel safe holding it. For instance, someone may consciously want wealth, but deep down, wealth feels unsafe. They fear losing it, being judged, or being overwhelmed by responsibility. So the nervous system rejects the feeling of wealth and pulls them back into familiar struggles. To change reality, you must create safety in your body around your desired experience. This can be done through gradual exposure, feeling a little more abundance, love, or joy each day until your system normalizes it. Practices like breathwork, grounding, and somatic release help regulate your nervous system so it welcomes the new state instead of resisting it. Once your body feels safe embodying the new reality, your subconscious stops sabotaging you. That's when your external life starts reflecting the new inner reality consistently. Action is necessary, but it is not the primary mover of reality. Feeling is. Think of action as the expression of reality, while feeling is the blueprint. When the blueprint is aligned, the expression flows easily. When the blueprint is misaligned, action becomes forced, exhausting, and ineffective. This is why people burn out chasing success. They're acting against the blueprint of their own feelings. On the other hand, when you feel aligned with abundance or success, your actions flow effortlessly, ideas come easily, and synchronicities appear. Reality responds faster to feeling because it rearranges probabilities at the energetic level before you even take physical steps. Once you feel a new reality consistently, action becomes almost automatic. Opportunities seem to come to you rather than you chasing them. This doesn't mean you do nothing. It means your actions are empowered, efficient, and supported by the field of possibility. At the core of manifestation is a simple principle. You must become the vibrational match of what you desire. This doesn't mean obsessing over wanting it. It means embodying the emotional state of already having it. If you want love, you must feel love now. If you want freedom, you must feel free now. If you want abundance, you must feel abundant now. Becoming the match doesn't require external evidence, it requires internal practice. And here's the paradox: once you feel it, you no longer crave it desperately, because in your body, it's already real. That surrender, that lack of desperation, is precisely what opens the door for the experience to manifest in your physical life. The universe mirrors your vibrational state. If you want to know what you're broadcasting, look at what keeps showing up in your life. When you consciously adjust your vibration through feeling, the mirror must change. Most people try to escape their current reality by ignoring it, but suppression never works. The old reality, whether it's lack, loneliness, or failure, lingers until you shift the feeling that created it. You can't just push it away. You must dissolve it by embodying a new emotional state that makes the old one obsolete. For example, if you've lived in scarcity for years, your nervous system is used to worry. That worry keeps the scarcity real. But when you repeatedly practice feeling gratitude for what you already have, you weaken the old emotional loop. Over time, the feeling of gratitude becomes stronger than the feeling of lack, and the old reality collapses. You don't have to fight it. It simply fades because it no longer has emotional fuel. Reality is like software. Feelings are the operating system. Change the system, and the old programs can't run anymore. That's why dissolving old realities begins not with force, but with consistent emotional realignment. Neville Goddard, one of the greatest teachers of manifestation, spoke of living from the end. This means embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled before it appears. You don't wait for the external proof. You generate the internal proof through feeling. Living from the end is not pretending. It's training your consciousness to normalize the new reality. For instance, instead of desperately wishing for love, you practice feeling loved and cherished now. Instead of constantly worrying about money, you feel the relief and joy of financial freedom now. The end state becomes your current state, and reality has no choice but to rearrange to reflect it. Skeptics call this delusion, but it's actually the most practical formula for transformation. You make the future so emotionally real in your body that it overrides the present. The moment you stabilize this state, the external world begins shifting in response. Here's the paradox most people missed. You must feel it's real, But then you must also surrender. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing control over how and when the reality manifests. Many people block their manifestations by clinging to desperation. They feel their reality for a moment, but then obsess over why it hasn't shown up yet. This obsession signals lack, which reactivates the old state. True surrender means you've so deeply felt the reality that you no longer need to chase it. You live in the vibration of certainty. You know it's already yours in consciousness, so you relax. That relaxation is magnetic. It allows life to flow and surprises to appear. Surrender is the bridge between internal feeling and external manifestation. Without it, you stay stuck in resistance. With it, your reality unfolds naturally, often in ways you couldn't have planned. So far, we've focused on personal reality, but there's also collective reality. Societies, cultures, and groups generate shared realities through shared feelings. For example, during times of crisis, fear spreads collectively, shaping decisions, economies, and environments. On the other hand, when communities cultivate hope, cooperation, and vision, they literally transform their collective experience. This is why leaders, teachers, and visionaries matter. They hold and transmit new emotional realities that others can align with. Your personal work of feeling a new reality doesn't just affect you, it contributes to the collective field. When more people feel peace, love, and abundance, it shifts the world's reality in measurable ways. This shows how powerful you truly are, not just in shaping your life, but in shaping the larger world. Every time you feel your desired reality as real, you add to the collective resonance that makes it possible for others too. At the deepest level, reality is not solid, it's fluid, responsive, and alive. The only thing that gives it solidity is your feeling. If you feel something is real, it hardens into fact. If you withdraw that feeling, it becomes false and dissolves. This is the ultimate key. Every reality is false until you feel it's real. Once you embrace this, you stop chasing, forcing, and struggling, and instead focus on mastering your inner state. You become the artist of your experience, painting with emotions, creating with feelings, and designing with inner conviction. The external world becomes your canvas, but the brush is always inside you. The more you practice feeling the reality you desire, the more natural it becomes, until one day you wake up and realize you're living it. What once seemed impossible is now ordinary. And that's the magic of life. It was never outside you. It was always waiting for you to feel it real.